Hello, I'm Scarlett Turner, and I'm going to tell you guys a story. So, I had recently decided to go on a diet, so I wasn't eating very frequently. Another thing about me is I almost eat at the exact same time every single day. 8:30 breakfast, 1 o'clock lunch, and 6:30 dinner. And I do not waver from that very often. So one night I was hanging out with my boyfriend and we were at his house, and 6 p.m. came around and I started to get pretty hungry. Oh, and this day we decided to eat dinner with his family. Me not knowing his family's eating habits, assumed we would eat around 6 or 7, but we ended up eating at 8:30. Now, I know this doesn't seem like a huge deal to a lot of people, but since I had not eaten since 1, I was very hungry. So hungry that I started involuntarily crying over how hungry I was, which I know sounds ridiculous. Now, this experience is pretty funny, but also a little concerning. My body was so used to the control I had put on myself that it started to shut down. According to openpathcollective.org, people with control issues feel the need to maintain power over nearly every aspect of their life, including personal and romantic relationships, family dynamics, and events in the workplace. Now, I wouldn't say I am that extreme, but that night I decided that I was a little too controlling over my life. I had too much of a routine and too much importance on everything I did in the day. I think a control issue is pretty common with a lot of people. Feeling the need to have a decision on everything, and if something doesn't go your way, you start to break down. So I decided to do something about this. I wanted to do a very small something that I would never typically do to help my little control issue. So I decided to go to a drink or food place and tell the workers to make me whatever they wanted, and I would eat it. So the first place I went to is a local Fayetteville coffee shop called Base Camp. I told the barista, Kendra, which by the way, she's amazing if you ever go there, to make me whatever she wanted. She seemed very excited, and as was I. I've gone to Base Camp multiple times, so I knew I typically liked what they had. So I was still slightly in my comfort zone. So I sat and waited, and eventually she called my name. My boyfriend was with me at the time, so he went and got it for me, and she told him what it was. He handed it to me, and I gotta say, I was a little nervous. It was frozen like a shake, as you can see in the picture that I have on the screen. So I was a little scared because that is not something I would normally ever choose. But I took a drink, and to my surprise, I loved it. It turned out to be a frozen lavender white chocolate coffee. And if you know me, I absolutely love lavender. I was ecstatic. So my first experience with this little experiment of mine was going pretty well. I was genuinely very happy that I had let go and not ordered some for myself because she made me something that I loved that I would have never ordered otherwise. So later day, I went to a snow cone stand and again asked them to make me whatever they wanted. I was expecting something a little crazy because at snow cone stands, they have so many flavors. So I was expecting something sour or just kind of weird. But to my surprise, they just gave me cotton candy flavor. Not my favorite, but I ended up eating the whole thing. This was very conflicting to me because I felt like I had wasted my money a little bit just because it was such a plain flavor. But I was also proud that I let go of my control and I ended up with something that was still pretty good. So overall, this experience was nice. I do like that I let go of control of every single thing because I got one thing that I really loved and the other thing I didn't love as much, but I wasn't very mad about it either. Which if I had ordered it and also didn't like it, I would have been pretty upset. I learned that it's okay to trust others because most of the time it will turn out okay. And I would definitely suggest to do this to other people if you struggle with control, because it teaches you that most of the time it'll turn out okay. Thank you.